Okay guys, we are gonna, in this blending technique, we're gonna actually wet the paper first. Now in this technique, I usually use more water than I use when I blend the other way, when I add water after I put the marker down. So I usually look for a reflection on the paper when I add water. And I'm also doing blends, of course, blends that are pleasing to the eye, right? We want to stay away from complementary color mixing, so I'm using colors that are usually next to each other. On here, I'm just doing a test to see if when I do mix those colors together, or can I separate them with, you can see how I separated those complements with an orange. So they're not, those complementary colors aren't exactly touching. That's another way you could kind of spin it. Whenever you lay down markers when the paper's wet, you will see that the marker pigment is starting to bloom or spread or bleed across the paper. And it's really kind of different when it dries. So remember that this spreading keeps going until the paper is dry. You can see that this blue is really spreading a lot, and even when I start to add in other colors, those colors will start to mix as well, and it will start to bleed together in a very pleasing way. And notice that I wrote down that I did not dab the the paintbrush. I really let a lot of water flow on that example. And in this kind of experiment, I'm doing a straight kind of wash of color, and I'm doing a different kind of blend where it's kind of like a line blend, horizontal line blend between colors all the way across, just to experiment and see what happens. And again, it's always good to play around, but always use like a pleasing, and try to understand, you know, what colors are pleasing together and what colors just don't work together. Remember that your knowledge of color theory would help out greatly in this regard. And again, if you want to stay away from grays or muddy colors, keep those complements away from each other and kind of use a separator like I did with the violet, orange, and yellow. Alright guys, let's see what happens with the rest of these. And don't forget to experiment and have fun. Take care.